Hi everybody, this is Diane. I'm just here to do a little bit of a chat while I get started on the next Christmas journal. But first I want to say thank you to all of you who purchased the glue books. Out of 7 glue books that I listed, the only 2 left are ones that are reserved. So I had told the people that reserved these books that I would list them yesterday or today. I did list them last evening. So hopefully they'll come and check out the shop because, like I said, I told them they'd be there by today. So if they're not picked up by Friday morning, I'm going to make them available to anybody. So hopefully they'll come and get them because they asked for them and I'm sure they want them. So they're there for you. Just wanted to let you know that they're in the shop for you. All right, so I'm going to start working on the next Christmas journal, which I'm going to make with this Patchwork placemat. Sorry, my son was just texting me. It's nothing I have to answer right away. So I have this placemat, and it's quite large, so I decided that I would make it about 6 inches wide and then make a flap. And it's not quite 12 inches, almost 12 inches, but not quite in height, but it has this curve. So I cut a sample page to see how it would fit, and I cut it to 10 inches and then rounded the corner, and it fits in there. I didn't want the corners sticking out beyond the curve, so there's a little bit of space at the top and bottom, and that's fine. I like it that way. So this is going to be the size of the page. It's 12 by 10, I think. Yeah, 12 by 10. So that's what I'm going to work on. I've got some pages here to prep. And I thought I would just chat with you while I do it. I had had my mail held while I was away. And it was supposed to resume yesterday, and it didn't. And I waited today, and the mail came, and I didn't have anything. So I was very, very irritated. Looking for my paper cutter. Oh, it's right on the floor. So I went to my little post office because I have to mail things today. I had some packages to mail. Because as soon as I opened my shop, I made some sales, so that's awesome. Thank you guys so much. But my little post office is connected to the larger post office in the next town where I used to live. And anything that's has to be picked up, like it couldn't be delivered for some reason, or if I have my mail held and it's in a bundle and I'm going to pick it up myself, I have to go there to get it. But I wanted it delivered, and I marked that on the form that I filled out, and they didn't deliver it. So I did have to go. I talked to the girl at my post office. I knew she wouldn't have it there. I just, she's my friend, and I just wanted to vent a little. And I was nice. I don't yell at people, or I don't get nasty. I just said I was irritated because it didn't come. So I went to the Sayre post office and asked for it, and she found it. There wasn't much there. It was nothing fun. It was bills and junk mail. But, I need the bills so I can pay them. But what irritated me the most was that there was no explanation or apology. It's just like, yep, here it is. Here you go. And I said, will it come to my mailbox tomorrow? Yep. Okay. I just think if people screw up, and maybe it wasn't her mistake, but she represents post office. It just seems like she should say sorry for the inconvenience. It makes me wonder if the next time I put my mail on hold, am I going to get it? Am I going to go through this again? And it wasn't a big deal. It was easy to go get my own mail. But, you get what I'm saying, right? Anyway, that's over. That's done. And now I'm going to launch into gratitude. I think I'm just going to make this a one signature journal, by the way. So I had mentioned that while I was on my getaway, I started reading a book about gratitude, which spoke to me because it made me realize that I have not been as grateful as I should be for a long time. Isn't this a pretty page from a cross-stitch craft book? So I said that I might show you the book and stuff. So this is the book. It's called Choosing Gratitude by Nancy Lee DeMoss. Choosing Gratitude, Your Journey to Joy. And it looks like a thick book, but it's very quick to read. The printing is a little bit big. It's got 9 chapters is all, but in the back of it, that's the 9th chapter. And then we have a 30-day devotional guide. So all of these pages are 30 days of devotions about gratitude. So it's a good book. It was $15 at wherever I bought it. I've had it for a long time. I just hadn't started reading it. But anyway, it spoke to me, and I want to just show you. I like to take notes on what I'm reading because it helps me remember to write things down. So as I go through, I just write some things out of here that spoke to me, or some scripture verses, or my thoughts, my prayers. I even wrote down the lyrics to some songs by Keith and Kristen Getty. I was listening to some of their songs while I was away, and I just started writing down some of the lyrics that I really liked. This one is called My Heart is Filled with Thankfulness, which I thought was appropriate. So that's one thing I do. And another thing I do as I'm learning something, this has nothing to do with crafting, I know, but I'll get back to it, is I write my scripture verses that are mentioned in the books that I read. I write them on index cards, and I sometimes will add a note of what the author had to say about that verse, and it gives me better understanding and how to apply it. And then when I go for walks, or even when I'm at work, I have my cards with me and I can meditate on them. So now I'll get back to crafting. But it made me realize that when I am ungrateful, when I'm not thankful for what I have or what God has done for me, I am being disrespectful to Him. Think about when you give something to your child and they're not happy with it. They wanted more, or they wanted it sooner, or whatever they're not happy with. And how does that make you feel as a parent? You want to make your child happy, and we know we can't give them everything they want because we'll spoil them. We know all that stuff. And God is our Father if we are believers. So anyway, it was good for me to understand that and to confess that, and hopefully be able to be grateful for the things that I have. Yes, I've been focusing on a lot of loss in the last 3 years. I've experienced a lot of loss, and we do tend to get stuck there, and I don't want to be stuck there. I don't want to live there for the rest of my life. And so I think that the next step for me will be gratitude. Be grateful for what I do have. I have children who love me, and grandchildren. They need me, and they love me, and they take care of me as I take care of them. And that's something for me to be grateful for. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this handmade piece of paper, but I'm cutting it, evening it out because it's crooked. I think someone sent it to me and it had something wrapped in it because there was a piece of tape on it. So I'm just going to make it nice and even, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do with it. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share with you. That was probably the biggest insight that I had while I was on my little vacation. So thank you for bearing with me. I know some of you appreciate hearing things like that. And if you don't, I'm sorry. I'm still a craft channel. But I like to use my platform to glorify God too. So there you are. I think that's what I'll do with this. I'll have it folded like that, and it'll have flaps. Okay. So I won't need a whole lot of pages for this book because I'm only going to make it one signature. And I'm going to round all of the corners just because the corners of the table mat, placemat, are rounded. Oops. So I do have 2 of the larger size papers. Maybe I should put another one in there. The other ones, the other pages will be smaller because it is such a big cover. Speaking of covers, I discovered another stash of Christmas covers, Christmas book covers that I have. Oh my goodness. So I might put a couple in the shop. The rest I'm going to save for next year because I do want to make journals out of those, and I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't see them when I started my gathering stuff for journals. I could change my mind. I'm hopefully going to make 3 more journals, and I already had the covers selected. But thought about changing my mind on a couple of them and switching them out, but the Christmas Carol one, the Dickens Christmas Carol book, I think that's going to be a fun one to work on, so I'm going to stick with it for this year. And the other one is the Story of Christmas, so it's got the religious theme. And I like to do at least one of them each year when I do Christmas journals. And these are leftover pages from various sets. I wanted to use the TLC Creates Vintage. I forgot what the name of this kit was, but it was a design team project last year for me, and I had a couple pages left. This one is Tsunami Rose, I think. But I love the bright, fun elements on this one too. So anyway, I have more Christmas books. So I set aside 3 for next year. This is, or maybe it's 4. I think it's 4, because I brought one in here with me. This one is Santa's Surprise Book. I just love the retro look of that Santa Claus. Excuse me, my voice keeps getting hoarse today. This is from 1966. I paid $2 for this book, which is more than I normally do. You know, I will pay 2 or 3 for a children's book like this if it's something I love. And apparently this was something I loved because I paid for it, and I do love it. So I had that one. I have Raggedy Ann and Andy Help Santa or something like that. And since I love Raggedy Ann, I wanted to keep that one. And I don't remember what else, but they're all ones I wanted to keep. So anyway, do you think I think maybe I should put one more. Well, I don't know. How many pages will I put in it? I don't want to make it so very hard to stitch through. I usually do no more than 12, sometimes 13 pages in one signature. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can do a couple more. I shouldn't round the corners until I've trimmed them down because this one's sticking out a bit. The more pages you put in, the more they stick out a bit. So, I want to put some wrapping paper in. Look at this cool wrapping paper. I'll just cut it in half. So that makes a taller piece. And I think I should put book pages in. I have some book pages here. Oh yes. Got music page. Put this music page in. Oh, that doesn't have music on it. It's from a songbook, but it doesn't have music on it. I saw one with music. Angels from the Realms of Glory. So I am grateful that I was able to go pick up my mail. I'm grateful that we have mail delivery and that it usually works. Aren't they cute? This is from a Christmas cookbook called Santa in My Kitchen. It was just a little book, and it was so cute, and I've been enjoying putting that in my journals. I don't think I need, maybe I'll just make it a little bit narrower. And I want to put a Christmas card in it. So that'll add another page to it. What do I do with my Christmas cards? Here's one. I love this one. I'm going to put this one in. Isn't that cool? So vintage. You won't be able to open it if I sew it in, though. Do I want to do that or put it in a pocket? I could sew this one in. That's pretty. And put this one in a pocket. Or, oh, I've got these. I want to use this one. This one looks more vintage. And it doesn't open up more than that, so you won't be losing any real estate. So I'll put that in. This is the envelope that goes with it. I'll make sure that gets included somewhere. How about if I put this here, and if I can get the envelope open, like right here, I can put that in the center. I might have to try steaming it open, and I'll use a different envelope. Okay, so I'll try to put an envelope in the center here, and then this will go in a pocket. So there we have the pages. Look at all these printables that I have left from last year. And I'm going to have some left again. I'll be able to use some of these in the other two books that I have coming up. And I will include, there's so much holly on this, so I wanted to make sure I put this holly page in, and I'll use a holly doily in it too. Okay. Now what I want to do is, I have some things that I want to make ephemera with. I don't know what I'm going to do. I was just cleaning up my desk and piling things that I want to use. See these adorable Santas? They were cut off of vintage cards, and these were sent to me in a recent Happy Mail. So I love these. So I'm going to put them right in this book and make sure that they go in that book whenever I make it. Possibly I could do it this year, but it might be next year. I have this that I wanted to include in this book. I don't even know where I got it. It is a printable. I think maybe somebody sent it to me. It looks like Corinne Malvern's artwork from a children's book. So because of the size of it, I think what I would do is fold it in half and maybe put it in a pocket in this journal somewhere. So I don't want to forget that. Now, what I brought over, or what I left on my table to make ephemera with, are some more of the card pieces that I got in that same Happy Mail. These pieces. And some scraps from the other Christmas journals that I just made. Scrap pieces, just some red and green cardstock. And these few things. This is a poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas. Might do something with that. My stencils. And these little, this is German, what do you call these? Scrap. They call them German scraps. Although it says made in England. I believe I got that in Happy Mail. It's not a Happy Meal. Happy Mail. And it's embossed a little bit. She is a digital that I don't know where I got it from. And this is a little tag that it was on a Christmas gift last year or something. So I'll have to cover the back of it. I thought maybe I'd be able to make something with those items, plus some of my papers from tablets, plus, oh my gosh, plus, I've got so much Christmas stuff. Oh, I have my poinsettia hang tags. I've got belly band. Got some tickets. Got some things that I stamped last year. Oh, I've got so much. It's overwhelming sometimes. These are things I already made in videos that I did this year. Got some more Mrs. Coggs images I can use. These little sacks, they're so cute. I just did them in a recent video too. I'll make sure I use some of them. And my coasters. But I already made embellishments with the coasters, so I guess I won't make any more. Alright, let's just get started on what we have out. Enough stuff. I want to use that. It's so cute. I had two of those. I used a green one in a different journal. Let's just get to work. Okay. Those are already done. Can set those aside and make sure I use some of them at least in this journal. It's only one signature, so I won't be needing all of them. Okay, I'm just going to make some pockets with these stencils that I have. So I like this Christmas stocking. This is going to be a larger book, so I can use larger elements. I'll just trim this a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to glue that on, and then I'm going to cut this into a curved pocket. The back side is slick, so I'm hoping that this glue will hold it well enough. This is Fabri-Tac. Now that's a pretty big pocket. Let's see how it looks on a page. That red doesn't look good with that red, but the size is okay. Maybe I'll put it there. And that might be a good tuck spot for that card. Do I need to do anything else to this pocket? I don't really like this big old empty space there. But I kind of want it to just be simple. Let's see what I got in my little box of trinkets here. I don't think I'm going to like any of these hanging out down here, but maybe a cluster. It says joy. Don't want red on it. None of the above. Don't know. I think I'm just going to glue it on, and if I come across something that I think that would be really cute down there, I'll use it. Let's just cut it off. So I'm just going to put glue on that edge and on the toe. And then this will be tucked in there when it dries. I'll probably want to put some lace on this edge too. I'm going to want to put some pockets on the insides now. So the pocket can only be like that big. And I'll attach something that will probably just a long piece of fabric that'll wrap around. Okay. That's a start. What else can I make? I actually don't think I'm going to make any more because I have so much stuff made. So I'm just going to go through what I have. I don't need the cover. I'll do some stenciling on the white pages. I am going to add this so that you could write on this page, but if you wanted to glue your own ephemera, photographs or whatever, you could, cover that up too. But I look at journals as, when I'm making a journal, I'm trying to make it a good writing journal, because that's what I do. But not everybody does, and I realize that. So I try to have room for both. So on this would be harder to write on because it's a flap hanging off the book. So this would be a good place to put some ephemera. Try to use up some of my vintage stuff. I like to put vintage things in the books. So I'll put that little sticker there. I'm going to grab my fabric flips to make sure I leave space for one of those, one or two. Oh, it's kind of hard when you're only doing one signature and you want to cram everything in. It does look cute, doesn't it? I like that. Good enough. Well enough. Was wondering if I wanted to put a tab on that. That one's more red. Guest check. Maybe a guest check here. There's some pinks on this page, so I use this guest check that has pinks in it. And I'm just going to glue it there instead of inserting it somewhere. I'll have lots of space to stencil and maybe stamp on. I don't usually embellish the plain pages because those are the pages I figure you're going to write on, but sometimes I do. think I'd like to use this one and a piece of the tablecloth. I want a piece of patchwork in here. We'll use this one in here. And I think I have a couple little pieces like that I can use. Okay. So I want to make sure I put this one here. I don't need to pin it or clip it. I don't know. And that one there. And there's a recipe card. See where I can put that. When I have so many embellishing pieces already done, it seems like it goes together fast, but I do have to go back and do stenciling and add some lace and stuff like that to it. I think I'll use this as a little tuck here, and I need a little tag to go inside it. Oh, that's way too big. I've got these things to use too. And this gorgeous vintage postcard. Okay, so I'm going to look through my printables and find one that will fit into this pocket. How about that? Any of those would, I think. Okay, we got enough here. I'm going to put this in. I'll stitch that to some coffee dyed paper. And I think I'll put this one in. But I will have to sew it to something a little bit bigger so it won't get lost down in there. think I just made it too wide. Okay, that fits. And for this, I'll add it to one of these appointment book pages. It says December page here. And I just taped them in the center, so I will stitch them around the edges. That pocket stopped. It's got 2 tags and then 2 things behind it. I think before I go any further, I better trim pages to fit and round corners. I'm not going to round the corners on the Christmas card. That one I already did. I think I'd like a little bit of color injected here, so let's look at those pieces that I have. This could be a tuck spot there. I like that, and then maybe put a fabric cluster over here. What did I do with my fabric? And I love this. This is vintage, and it's put on some kind of construction paper, I think, but it's better quality than what you find nowadays. You can see fibers in it. It's a vintage card that someone cut and pinked and put on this and put this little vintage ribbon on it. Probably wasn't vintage when they put it on, but I want to use this in here because it's so cute. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. I can put this over here and this down here. Have to unclog my glue first. Forget it. I'm not going to fuss with it right now. I just put the glue on the wrong side. I need it on the bottom. that on this edge. So this was made with, this is cut from vintage wrapping paper, and I glued it to green cardstock. And there's a little gift tag there. And some vintage rickrack and just a couple circles that I punched out. Gold and red polka dot. Okay, that'll go there. So I'll just have to have something to tuck into there. Maybe this recipe. This is a recipe page. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, we're coming along nicely. I want to make sure I'm putting stuff in the back too, not just on the front half. I think I'll put one of my vintage gift tags up there. That's a printable one, that's not vintage. That one shows up better. Oh, I like that one. Let's look at the ones that I already embellished. Maybe they're too big. Well, these are little sacks. I could put a sack here and a sack here. That'd be cute, wouldn't it? Put a little something inside. Put that inside. Now I'm going to see if I have a little tag that will fit in there that I can glue this to. Smaller than I need, but it does have a string to pull it out with. Oh, that one works. That one's perfect. I'll just glue that to it. With some lace or fabric or something behind it. Grab some lace. I like that. I'm being decisive today. I'm usually pretty quick at deciding what I want. I don't like to spend a lot of time hemming and hawing. There are days, though, that I do.